Hey everybody, welcome back to Paramedics and Pints. We're going to try something a little different today. We're going to do some react videos. So we're going to check out a couple of 911 TV shows and we're going to kind of give you our live feedback.
Cool. Yeah, so first clip, Wade brought, right? So we got Caleb back with us.
Hello.
Caleb and I, have you seen this, Caleb? I haven't seen it.
I haven't seen any. I don't watch 911 shows because it pissed me off too much.
All right, cool. So man, if you want to fire up, let's go ahead and watch. From Lone Star.
911, what's your emergency?
I think my husband froze to death. I was out on a run, and when I got back, he was still in there.
Rob Lowe's so handsome.
So handsome.
So handsome.
I think he's dead.
Okay, Paul, Joe, let's try to get him out.
Is that
Hey,
like
Brett?
a little cryogenic
Brett, you
chamber?
with us?
Yeah.
Brett? How long's he been in there?
At least 45 minutes.
It's frozen solid, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I tried melting it with the hairdryer, but no use.
Okay, how?
Sure. Yeah.
Yep, flying in.
She should have thrown the hairdryer.
Turn it off?
Just throw it
I
in.
unplugged
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Zap him and see if he's
There's not an
he's alive
automatic
or not.
off switch?
There is, but Brett disabled it because he knew better.
What's the
probably did know
ETM
better.
medical?
No.
5 or less?
I would say maybe he doesn't know better.
Oh, that's your wrong opinion. Look at him. He knows what he's talking about.
Yeah. Totally didn't get into that situation himself. Yeah. Let's just poke him. Yeah. Yeah.
All
Poke
right,
him.
let's try to get him on the floor. Get some warming blankets.
That's a rigger, dog.
Yeah. He's f***ing dead.
Brett? No pulse.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm starting compressions.
Cap, medical's here.
If he wasn't dead before, he's dead now for
Yeah.
sure.
No, hold on. You got to use something to confirm.
No. Yeah. Yeah. Let's listen to log sounds. Yep. Yep.
So is she supposed to be checking heart tones right now?
I don't know. When they pulled that out, I was like, at what point do you think that's going to do it? Like, what are you listening for?
Yeah.
What's your purpose there, guys?
Do you see why I was so jarred when I found this clip?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's pretty good. I
Yeah.
mean, the amount of times I've been on a cryogenically frozen dead body is pretty high.
I haven't. Yeah. I've never done that.
Maybe
but,
I'm
yeah.
just not working in wealthy enough areas.
Yeah.
Maybe. I mean, I don't know. I feel like if I were to go like push on a steak that I had in my freezer, I don't think it would just
Shatter.
crumble like that.
Yeah.
I don't know how realistic that is.
No, that's like they dipped him in like liquid nitrogen.
Yeah.
Like that's the only thing that would
Yeah.
make sense to me.
Well, and then like if you looked at the body cavity, it was just empty on
Yeah.
top of it. It looked like it was ceramic or something. And I was like, interesting.
And I expected when it like went over the top to be him to be like actually like sealed in there, but I
Yeah.
don't feel like you would get that cold if you're just that exposed to the
room
normal
air.
atmosphere. But
Yeah.
maybe I don't know. I'm not a scientist.
I don't think that's how thermodynamics work. I'm not a like you said. I'm not a scientist, but like I would think. Well, on top of which, too, if you get too cold, you would want to be trying to get out. On top of it, you wouldn't just be standing there. You know, like
Maybe with his broken arm he couldn't open the door. And so that's what happened.
I guess, yeah, sure.
It's
yeah.
a right-handed door only.
Yeah, I can't use my left hand to open the right hand door. It's like,
and his wife was busy in the other room with a glass of wine, online shopping.
sure,
Yeah.
Or maybe the pool boy was there or something, right?
Yeah.
So he was screaming to her and she couldn't. That's what rich people do, right?
Yeah, I'm assuming
Sleep
so.
with a pool boy?
I don't know.
I don't know. I've never.
Once I get a
encountered
pool
rich
boy,
person.
I'll let you know.
Yeah.
You've never been the pool boy? I could see.
That's assumptive, but no.
Okay, fair enough. All right. All right. What else? What else we got, Sabrina?
Roll the next one.
Yeah,
I'm pretty happy I found that.
Yeah.
it was good.
Never did crack it.
It's another current situation. Looks
From
like.
my heart,
Okay.
to my love, to my home, to my life.
What year is
I've got a
this?
shockable rhythm. What does that mean?
It's good. It means that there's still electricity in our
It's
heart.
like 2 years ago, right? The
She's my sister.
latest.
This will sound
And they're
strange.
carrying paddles.
Nancy?
Also,
It's like
she's in a
you thought I'm
shockable
clear.
rhythm. What compressions are we doing?
I can't thank you enough.
What?
She's got a pulse.
Yeah. I know what's
She's
happened.
alive.
Yeah.
Not strange at all.
Oh yes. Yeah.
You had a close call, man. But we'll have him take a better look at you at the hospital.
Hang on, Sabrina. Go ahead and pause real quick. So, a close call. So what? I mean,
She was dead.
from what we saw, she was dead.
Yeah.
I don't know that I would call that a close call. Like, that's like you're not close, you're touching. That is, you're there.
Yeah.
Like you are touching heaven or wherever you think you're going.
It's like the Princess Bride of like, I can fix mostly dead, but I can't fix all the way dead.
Yeah.
She was mostly dead.
That's fair. Maybe that is a close call.
Good reference. Yeah, for sure. Also, yeah, like just the fact it's like, okay, yep, that's a shockable rhythm off of a feeling of a pulse. Loosely.
Well, I think old school like paddles, like I think you could read as if you were. I mean, those we've just taken those over with sticky patches, but I think that was the purpose.
Yeah.
She put the paddles on, which again, this isn't 1983.
right.
We don't use that. I wish I was old enough to have been able to and I've done this a long time to do the clear.
Right.
Like I never got to do that, but I'm assuming that she just put them on and was able to interpret the rhythm there.
But
Still, the compressions. There's so many missing
yeah,
pieces.
there's no compressions. I didn't see any IV access. If you saw a shockable rhythm, why didn't you shock immediately?
Because it was her sister. Did you not see the
She
emotions on her
hesitated.
face?
That's
Okay, yeah.
I don't know whose sister, but it was her sister. All right, keep going. Let's see let's see where this ends.
What are you people doing in my house?
that's real.
I called them.
You mean her coding and then coming back and talking in like 3 seconds?
Sure.
Yeah.
No.
Well, more of like, what are you doing at my
Don't
house?
touch
Yeah,
me.
also true.
Ma'am, I'm not sure you understand what's happening.
But you hear that
Nancy
mostly
just saved
off
your
shift.
life.
Yeah, that's fair.
So that's probably why.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just a big
You
fan.
don't get it.
Rob Lowe, I'm sorry.
She was supposed to let me die.
Bracelets don't fucking count.
Bingo. Bingo.
State of Idaho, there is one
She has a
bracelet that does
DNR.
count.
Do not
I've
And one specific
what it
one,
means.
one piece of
Oh, do
jewelry.
you?
never seen it.
Everybody just get out of my house.
Now that is real. They can refuse it at any point.
She seemed pretty alert and oriented. in
Yeah.
asking. But I liked this clip because it was one of the. What? Sorry.
That's a nice little YouTube suggested that's coming up. For
Weird
us.
segue. I gotta stop talking about Rob Lowe.
Interesting. Wait, what are you looking up in your pastime?
This is Sabrina's YouTube.
Sabrina, what are you looking up in your pastime?
But I thought this one had good talking points, right? Like no compressions, shockable rhythm that they're gonna call, the paddles from 1983, and then like, oh, sorry, I'm a DNR with a bracelet, which, you know, depending on your system, maybe not,
Yeah.
but like most systems, they got to have that legally binding paperwork, you know?
Yeah, and so was the person on scene. They just tricked him.
Yeah.
Like, so, you know, didn't point out the DNR. Is that what I was getting from here? Like, you know, and that's a real thing, right? Of like, I don't want you to let I want my family member here, even though they made that decision. So
Right.
is that a little bit of that maybe?
Maybe.
Yeah, and I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure like if family's there and they do have a DNR and family's like, I want you to save them, you still have to save them, right?
No,
Or
I
is
mean,
it-
you need,
tough.
It's
Yeah.
hard. Like the easy black and white answer is you need to follow the DNR as long as it's a proper DNR and everything in place. But when you have 9 screaming family members there, you're still supposed to follow it. I would say unless you feel like you are in danger at some point. I mean, I feel like we've probably all been in that kind of situation where it's like maybe I should like
Do something.
do something.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, technically you need to follow the DNR order.
Gotcha.
That's the purpose of them.
Yeah.
Family can't take those rights away from the patient.
And then it gets even dicier if it's like medical power of attorneys on scene and they're the ones like, no, actually they want to be resuscitated because it's like, it's muddy waters, field of gray.
Yeah.
Right?
So those are both
911 Lone Star.
Lone Star. Yeah. Yeah, this is the one I brought. It's from Chicago Fire, which has been around a very, very long time. Best part about Chicago Fire, there's somebody with my name on it, so I'm pretty much famous because of that.
Sure.
So pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Allegedly.
So yeah, you guys have not seen this yet. Some good talking points. But yeah, let's go ahead and run it, Sabrina. Gloves before you get out. I'm not a gloves before you get out person. I don't know about you
I
guys.
am, but mostly because I'm weird and I would put my gloves in like the heater or the cooler depending on the season.
Fair.
We found him like this. He lives in the
It depends on
building.
if I'm driving or not, but
That's a fair point too.
Little Roo. What's his name? Jake.
From State Farm.
Can you hear me, Jake?
She sounds hideous.
It's pretty cold. Pupils are constricted. Naloxone.
Yeah.
What is that? What does that mean?
Jake's showing symptoms of an opioid overdose.
Jake.
This will reverse the effects.
Maybe.
Okay, so coming back real quick. Go ahead and pause,
Parents
Sabrina.
home?
What are we missing right here?
An IV.
IV, oxygen.
I mean, that's where I was going.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
Yeah.
why is nobody breathing for the dude that's there
Yeah.
not breathing?
'Cause
Right? Like, let's breathe
yeah.
for him. This is such a disservice that these shows do to like the general public of people watching this are like, cool, Narcan, when what they need to be doing, and I get it, public, you know, maybe you don't want to do mouth to mouth. I get that. But they should have their bag with a BVM.
Right.
And before they're going to start to worry about Narcan, they should be breathing for this patient. Because opioids kill you because you stop breathing.
Yeah. Well,
not for any other reason.
And
So
then when you wake up, one of the things that happen is they become combative, right? Well, if your brain is hypoxic, they're going to be combative because they're hypoxic. So,
or they're just pissed off because they spent money on drugs and
Yes.
made that go away.
Yeah.
But also could be hypoxia.
yeah. Like, I really haven't had a lot of combative patients because 9 times out of 10, we oxygenate and then we get them in the truck. We get in line. We slowly increment the Narcan
to bring 'em back.
And generally that's
A little different than what they're going to do here.
Yeah. We're gonna slam at 16 milligrams of Narcan.
Okay, PD.
I'm on it. Which unit?
2B.
Oh.
So I am Narcan. I mean, I guess go ahead and
Yeah.
like, we'll go ahead and stop. Like, I don't know, maybe you guys have different experience, but it's in protocol. But I've never seen anybody give IM Narcan. It's always in the nose, or we do an IV line so we can titrate and give precise amounts.
I've seen it only with cops because they have the IM injectors.
injections?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's the only time I've seen it. So
I've never done it. Yeah, because IV makes way more sense, but IN is way more convenient
Yeah.
too.
I haven't had a lot of success. I don't know if it's just I'm terrible at IN medications, but I never feel like I get the right angle.
I mean, it does like to drip out. You do have to make sure you have the right angle, and then you need to make sure that you push like the correct pressure so that it misses really well. But I don't know, man. Like, I'm in this drug house with I don't know who, whatever's around. I don't want open needles around. You know what I mean? Like somebody could come up and bump me or attack me, and now I've got a needle I'm going to stab into somebody.
Well, and they also showed up in a truck, right? Like, I would think oxygenate, get them in the truck, get them in your office. You're safe there, ish. At least, when more resources get on scene, it's like, cool, drive me to wherever,
Well,
So
thankfully they didn't. You'll see here in a second. It's a good thing that they
Hello?
didn't just pull right
Paramedics?
away.
You've clearly never worked in Chicago.
Yeah, never.
Paramedics?
Also,
And
I know maybe it's just because it's the show, but I am, and he's waking up in like 22 seconds. Not realistic.
Hey,
No, he
Brett, we
didn't
got
even
another
throw
one.
up.
Stay with them. I'll be right
It's like
back.
those kids were having an alcohol party.
Yeah. Let's just leave the bystand. Yeah, walk on.
Who's this alcohol?
She's
party?
overdosing too.
Oh, don't even check the pupils for her.
Yeah.
She definitely fell into other
Yeah.
Paramedics, anyone home?
Let's see how
She's
quick
not
she comes
responding.
around.
Let's give her
not
another
responding.
dose.
Another dose. She didn't respond within 9 seconds.
Yep.
Do it up some more.
Let's not put her in the. Why there?
I think that was supposed to be IV without an IV, maybe?
Okay. And why not put her on the ground instead of on the couch so you're not worried about her, right? But
No.
Hello?
We don't do that.
yeah.
Okay.
Oh, what? The fuck?
Okay, we gotta stop again. Right? Like,
That escalated so fast.
every single thing that was done about that was wrong with the CPR, right? Just like you were talking about. You know what doesn't work well? Doing CPR on a squishy surface. Like, move her to the ground. And then, I mean, they're not going to push hard on the chest for this kind of a thing, but that was so weak.
Yeah.
I mean, from like down, right? Not on the side of the patient. She was like, down. It's bad.
Yeah. Well, and it just goes back to just oxygenate. And then you also said too, it was like within 9 seconds, we're going to give another dose, another 9 seconds. Oh, it didn't work. So I'm going to just go straight to CPR.
Yeah. Did she really go from pulseless from pulsatile to pulseless in that 10 seconds between the two doses?
Yeah.
Like, I don't think they even checked the pulse before they started with dosing Narcan.
Now, my question is, when she inevitably finds whatever nightmare is behind this closet door, what is CPR gal's plan? Is she going to get off that chest? Because that's a no-no. Right? If you're going to start CPR, you're staying on CPR.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess maybe it's not super unrealistic that the first dude, they're like, here you go, peace. And I'm like, we're going to walk around and check something out. And
I think in that situation where you have multiple patients, I would want to put them in some kind of staging area where at least one person can be watching. So if that Narcan does wear off, I can be like, oh, fuck, and then give him another dose, right? Rather than he's in the hallway, he's behind a door. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if bystanders gave him the Narcan. I have no idea who these people are, right? I don't know if they're just going to scoop him up, bring him to the car, and then drive away.
Or even worse, maybe he's scared that you're going to find his stash, and so he's going to go grab his gun and kill you because now you don't have eyes on the patient.
Yeah, so always keep eyes on. That's scene safety 101 right there.
Especially, I mean, I'm not a woman, but I feel like even as a man, I don't want to be by myself when there's multiple drug users out, like knocking on the door. Paramedics, you know what I mean? Like that seems pretty unsafe without having somebody else to come back me up. I'm not going to go through that house by myself.
No,
and I might be wrong, but like Chicago's a big city. Like, how far do you think a QRU realistically is for this situation?
I can't imagine it's very far.
Like less than, it's got to be less than 10.
I mean, as I was watching clips of Chicago Fire, pretty much they go everywhere together all the time. There's like 9 different vehicles on this show, everything that they go and do. So there's probably somebody just outside hanging out.
Yeah. Well, and especially like if a call comes in for an overdose, you would think cops would be swarming that place.
I mean, that's also a big city, right? Like there's an old, I guess it's not that old, but there's I think it was called Flint Town or something. There's a documentary about Flint, Michigan that got hit really hard with the, I think it was called Flint Town, really hard with the opioid epidemic. And it was wild, like watching that documentary is there's like, because they're so stretched thin with the resources, it's like the most violent city at that point in the U.S. And all that. So they're going to shootings and it's just like maybe one cop and then an ambulance. That's all that they would send because they're just so stretched thin with all the violent crime. So that could maybe not be too unrealistic.
Yeah.
No cops on this, but
that's fair.
All right, let's see what's behind door number 3.
I'm going to say a pile of shit.
Close. Body.
Ambulance 61 in Maine. We need 2 additional ambulances.
Oh, that's a good idea. Maybe we should have done that immediately.
Possible spinal injury.
Yeah.
Possible spinal injury. How are we determining that possible spinal? I like that one too.
Are you just assuming because it's a floor that like? I mean, like maybe.
I mean, yeah. Maybe.
Sometimes when I can go camping, I get a crick in the neck too.
Yeah, that's fair.
So maybe it's the same thing. She's sleeping on the floor. There's no pillow.
Yeah.
Maybe her neck's gonna be a little sore.
Or maybe she's thinking that she was standing up when she took it and fell. And
look, you're ruining the fun right now. Okay.
I'll give her the benefit of the doubt on that one, but
if that's the case, where was that thought process with the other 2?
Yeah, right.
Like the fact that she called 2 ambulances, like it's like you should have known already you're gonna need at least one more. Like, from the get go.
Yeah. That should have been immediately when you saw patient number 2. You should have been calling for additional resources.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it could have been a lot worse. I feel like for some of these shows, like they at least like chose the right medication and like started CPR. I guess.
I mean, the bare minimum was there, but the follow through and thought process was not.
Yeah, that was a big one. I was thinking thought process of like what like talking points was like terrible CPR, which is common in shows, and just like the big thing like. Just ventilate your patients.
Yeah.
Why are we giving medications as they're not? And to be fair to them, you can go pull up plenty of videos on YouTube of actual responders doing that. So to be fair to the show.
They probably watch Chicago Fire.
That's their CE hours. Is Chicago Fire. All right, everyone, get in the training room. We're going to watch episode 7.
Yep.
And these shows do such a disservice to us too, because like everybody assumes that like everything we do is this, and it's like no. Mima falls down at 3 a.m. pretty consistently. You know, like everyone thinks it's all doom and gloom type stuff, or like a cryo chamber where people are freezing hollow.
Yeah,
like no, sorry, not real life people.
Yeah. Oh man, I mean. One of my least favorite things is being first on compressions and like breaking that cartilage.
Oh, yeah.
That's just a whole nother level. That would be really bad.
I don't want to say I like it, but it's a satisfying sensation.
Oh, I hate it so much. It makes me like maybe when I was like really new to this, like it was like, yeah, brother, you know what I mean? But now it's like, oh, I hate it. So, I'm so glad that usually firefighters are there first to do it, and I don't have to feel that.
I just have to push through it. It's like, all right, I'm not.
I mean, you got to do it when you got to do it. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
But our system, thankfully, usually somebody else is there first, and they're already started compressions.
And then if you get on the chest and you start breaking stuff, it's like, you were not doing a good job.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought you were a big, strong fireman.
What's the point of lifting 3 times a day?
Don't you get paid to work out on shift?
We're going to lose so many friends after this episode.
No, they know. To be fair, I would say it to their face. If
That's true. That's true.
We probably said it after the call, to be fair to a lot of the people out there. So.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Cool, yeah. Hopefully you like the new segment. Hopefully you thought it was fun. I don't know. I thought it was pretty fun.
Yeah, I thought it was fun. Yeah.
Talk about it. So probably going to be a recurring thing. We'll bring some fun little clips to you. So if you're watching this and you're like, hey, you guys should check out this one. We're pretty new to this. We'd love some information on what to check out and what we can talk about. I'm sure we'll hit. I know the pit right now is the big talk about emergency medicine, about being pretty realistic. So maybe we'll watch some of that and
see how it goes.
Chicago Fire. Maybe bring it back old school to like the old emergency way back in the day.
Oh man, I never actually watched it. I've just heard tales.
Really?
Yeah, neither have I.
That's what I grew up on. Was
yeah. Well, that explains why you're here.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Right on. Thanks. So hit subscribe, hit like, all that stuff. Thanks guys for being here, and we'll check you guys next time.
Later.